Imagine having a lightning-fast, portable, creative partner right in your pocket, one that helps you, the busy working magician, generate highly custom original magic tricks literally on command. Your Trick Brain is the ultimate hassle-free digital tool to instantly unlock your professional edge and invent magic that is distinctly yours. First, let's talk customization. As a working pro, you need routines that perfectly fit your specific brand. By letting you build a private list of your very own custom props and everyday performing items, this tool acts as training wheels for your imagination. It completely cures creative paralysis and is guaranteed to spark your next signature routine. Second, because this incredible think tank is totally tailored to you, you can take it absolutely anywhere. Picture using it while waiting backstage in the green room or traveling between your shows. Seriously, why waste your downtime mindlessly scrolling social media when you could be having a blast brainstorming a secret arsenal of original magic? Finally, it's a $20 one-time payment, not some annoying recurring subscription. Think about it. For the price of a single one-trick download, you are getting a lifetime of unlimited ideas. If you have not yet picked up your copy of your Trick Brain, you can grab it now at the link in the description.
Hello, Nathan Tricky Allen here. This is your Trick Brain. If you're a magician who wants to perform more original material, then you're in the right place. Whether you just bought this program or you're just seeing it now for the first time, the goal here is pretty simple. We want to stop waiting for inspiration to strike and start making it happen on command so we can start creating our new individualized custom magic tricks for our shows. This is a modernized, lightning-fast engine that's based on Dariel Fitzkee's legendary 1944 system for inventing magic. The book was called The Trick Brain, so you can see how I got the name, right? This tool bypasses the frustration of starting from scratch by instantly feeding you unexpected puzzle pieces, random combinations of effects, mechanical methods, and your own customized list of everyday objects. And the fun part is figuring out how to connect all those dots into a working routine. So we're going to go through kind of how this all works to get you set up and comfortable with how we use it. Now, we all love the light bulb moments that just randomly hit you out of the blue from the back of your head. But usually waiting for those is kind of slow, kind of painful, and this is the secret shortcut. Now, like I said, this is originally Dariel Fitzkee's The Trick Brain book, but I digitized and supercharged it to give you a nonstop source of custom ideas. As you can see on the screen, it's instantly serving up effects, methods, props. But the best part is we're going to tailor it to your specific props and your specific shows, your style, which is going to turn it basically into a weightlifting machine for your brain. It forces you to consider combinations you'd never otherwise find in a book or a video tutorial, and combinations you would never otherwise think of, to be honest. Okay, so what we're looking at here, this front page, this is what it looks like when you open the software. The big light bulb button is what you push to randomize, and that's how it gives you an effect and a method and an object. Now, I didn't advertise this at all, but if you're not real sure what the effect is, you just touch the text of the effect right there. So this, in this case, it's attraction. If you touch that, it'll pop up and it'll tell you what it is. If you're not quite sure what that method is, you just tap that text, atmospheric pressure. It pops up and kind of briefly explains what that is. It also shows you where in the original book, which chapter to turn to if you want to learn some more about that. For the objects, if you need a second object for your effect, you just tap the object, which in this case is pictures, and you get traps. I don't know what that means. This is a junk list. These are all the original items from Fitzkee's original book in 1944. So a lot of these aren't going to make a parasol. Yeah, these aren't going to make much sense to you unless you do a lot of shows where you use like fedoras or pocket watches or telegraph machines, stuff like that. I'm going to reset it there. All right. Below that is the star button. If you land on a combination that you like, you want to save that for later, you just hit the star button there, and it saves just like that. Yes, yes, yes. And your saved items can be found down here at the bottom of the screen. The very bottom line here, settings, favorites, guide, and credits. Favorites is where you want to go, and that's where all of your saved ideas will pop up. And you can obviously delete those if you don't, if you accidentally saved one that you didn't actually like. Beneath the save button is a random inspirational quote, all related to creativity or just getting stuff done or being an artist. Nothing to do with magic. Most of them don't, but they're just kind of fun to read and kind of reminds you what you're in this game for. So, how do we set this up to work for you and you alone? We come down here to the settings panel right here, bottom left, settings, and this opens up your battle station for teaching everything, for teaching your trick brain what to do and how to do it. The profile manager up here, this comes preloaded with a bunch of different profiles. So right now, as I mentioned, we're in the default profile, which has Fitzkee's original list of items. But I also put birthday party magic show sample in there. There's a bar and tavern magician, Christmas magic show, corporate magic show. I mean, none of these are going to have the perfect list of items for your show, and that's why we're going to customize them in a little bit. So you can create a new one if you want, and you just have to name it like your this is my festival show. You can, if you have a profile that you like, you can duplicate it and you can give it a different name, but it'll duplicate everything about that. If you just need to make some random changes, you can rename any of these. If you do find one you like and decide to customize it, you can just rename it. Or you can, let's see, go to the Christmas magic show, you can delete that. Because you know what? I don't do any Christmas magic shows, not Christmas themed anyway. Beneath that is your display name. So if we'll go with Billy Bob. This is Billy Bob's Trick Brain now. Save and close, and you'll see that at the top, Billy Bob's Trick Brain. It's just kind of a vanity situation more than anything. Doesn't have anything to do with the functionality. You can choose a background color. I think Billy Bob likes purple. We're going to go with purple. Save and close. Now it's Billy Bob's Trick Brain with an all purple look. And these are Billy Bob's items. Now the items thing, that's where it gets really interesting, because this tool really only works if you feed it the right ingredients. You got to create a massive unfiltered list of items, one per line, that authentically fit your persona, or in this case, Billy Bob's persona, right? These are your visible items, the things that the audience does see. If you perform in multiple markets, like if you do a corporate mind reading show and a kid's birthday party show and restaurant table hopping, you'll want to create different profiles for each of those, because you're obviously not going to be using the same items in your corporate adult show as you are in your child's birthday party show, right? So you want to keep those totally separate. When you go to create your items, you'll want to not use any invisible gimmicks, like no tips, no polls, no IT. If the audience is not meant to see it, then you don't want to list it. Right here, the tips to build your list. I actually have this all written out for you. So if you ever want to look through it, you can. And this is we'll just go through it. Deconstruct the magic also. So you don't want to use like one trick items like dove pan or hippity hop rabbits or square circle. Although you can use parts of those props. So you can use the rectangular tubes from the hippity hop rabbits, or you can use the bottom pan of a dove pan, or a box or a cylinder from a square circle. A single linking ring, yeah. A cup from your cups and balls. That's great. But not like one trick only props. You don't want to add zombie ball to your list, because it wouldn't really make much sense. And you want to strip it down, keep the items basic, not a silver goblet full of cherry Kool-Aid, just goblet. You can sprinkle on the crazy later. Go nuts, don't self-censor. This is just brainstorming. And there's no bad ideas right at this point. Look at your prop case and jot down all of the ungimmicked items that are always with you, like the Sharpie and the lid, deck of cards and the box, even a carrot from the arm chopper. Because if you can use a prop for more than one routine, eventually that's going to start stacking up, and you're going to have a much tighter, stronger, more dense show of magic without carrying any extra luggage. Know what I mean? Everyday carry, your personal style, like what's always with you, in your pockets or in your carry-on bag, wallet, ID, receipts, key cards, phone, charger, sunglasses, stuff at the venue, what's usually around at the places you usually work for this particular show. So like a drink, a microphone stand, a wooden stool, folding chair. Lean into your persona. Own who you are or who you want to be, or who your character is on stage, and let your character tell you what props they're comfortable with. And here's a big AI prompt you can use to really blow the roof off the place once you've gotten exhausted of coming up with items on your own. This you can just copy and paste the entire thing into your favorite AI and fill in the blanks, like type of personality, some character traits, type of audience, events and venues you work at, and that'll help you come up with even more items because you want a big list. I think the items that I preloaded with, like the sample items, I think there's like maybe 150 items in each of these, if I remember right. Halloween show. I'm pretty proud of that name, Count Tricula. You can use that if you want. Just give me credit. I'll take 10% of your revenue if you do that. That'd be awesome. Appreciate that. So have fun coming up with that list of objects. And again, you can always hit the tips to build your list tab in your trick brain right there. Beneath that, the background color, just like that. The include effects. So this is because sometimes, sorry, I got got distracted. Had a phone call on my other phone. If you don't particularly like an exact type of effect, then you can just uncheck it, and your engine will not feed you anything related to that. So if you don't do any mind reading stuff, or you're just not a fan of it, then you can just uncheck all of those items near the bottom there, the thought reading, ESP, prediction, that type of thing. Conversely, if you're trying to come up with, you just need some type of production. Maybe it's for a customized corporate event where you're coming up with just you need to produce a product or whatever for like a product launch. Then you can just only check production. Or if they're like, hey, you can use this item, but just do something with it, then you're like, well, we could produce it, we could vanish it, transform, transposition, we could even do a penetration. And then you would only have the items in your object list that would be related to that particular product launch. You could, make a separate profile just for that corporate event is what I'm saying. And then beneath that, back up your settings. Because this opens and runs in your browser, everything is saved locally to your browser's memory, not in the cloud. This keeps your data totally private, but it means your settings will not automatically follow you to another device. And if you clear your browser's cache, it'll erase everything in here permanently. So to protect your work or to transfer it to a new device, you've got to export a backup file. So just this button right here, the export settings button, you just click that and it just does it automatically. It downloads the backup file, which contains all of your profiles, all of your settings, all of your custom lists into a tiny file. Keep that someplace safe, email it to yourself, put it in a cloud folder. That way, if you ever drop your phone in a lake or whatever, When you get your new phone, all you have to do is put the original HTML file, Your Trick Brain, back on your phone, which I assume you're keeping a copy in a safe place also. And then you import the settings. We'll import here. And you can see right there in the upper left, that's the most recent backup one right there. So we just click that. It's going to ask if you're sure, because it's going to overwrite everything up until this point. Yes, we want to do that. And now your settings are back online. You're back in business in no time flat. So that's pretty easy. Now we're back on the main screen. Get rid of here. File downloaded. Back on the main screen. Let's switch the color just to mix things up a little bit for Count Tricula. So yeah, you just tap the button, the light bulb button there. That'll spin the wheel like a slot machine, and it'll land on a random effect, random method, random object, and these objects will all be from your personal list. So these don't make any sense to you, but when you have your personal list, that's when they do. And I think I told you about the save button. Yes, right, and they all pop up there down in the favorites. And when you export your settings, it'll also export all of your favorites lists also. So you'll never have to worry about losing those if you've got some gold in there, because you want to hoard that gold so you can come back to it later. Especially if you're a pro, make sure you go to the settings page, set up your own profile, customize what you're going to do with your own list of objects. And once you get this engine tuned to your specific brand of crazy, that's when the results start to get really interesting really fast. And just remember, when you're doing this, you're not looking for gold on every single click, because professionals in any creative field know that in order to find gold anywhere, you have to sift through a lot of what ifs and dirt, so just use it regularly when you've got some downtime. If you're standing in line behind a screaming child at the grocery store, or riding in the back of an Uber, or you're just killing time in the green room before the show starts, you can just pop through here, zip through a dozen of them, and maybe you'll get a couple or a few that make sense to you, and they'll turn into a breakthrough, and you could turn into the next cornerstone signature piece of your act. But even if it doesn't right away, that's fine. Every time you do this, you're still strengthening those creativity muscles in your skull meats, your brain. And when you do find a great idea, that's great. But the real payoff is what polished original material is going to do for you as a performer. It gives you an act that no one else can really copy because it's too much you, and it gives you a reputation that you can be genuinely proud of. So this is going to be fun. I think you're really going to love your trick brain. Thank you for the support. Get out there, customize your tool, and get to work. Thanks again.